Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to a brand new episode of Power Talks with your host, Antonika,
PR, and Alessa.
So today I'm really excited with this topic that we're going to talk about because I feel like I'm kind of in that era. So we're going to talk about being selfish with yourself. So ladies, what are your initial thoughts about just being selfish with yourself?
I think I definitely need help with that. I definitely think I'm a big people pleaser. And so being selfish with myself is definitely something I should be working on. What about you, Alessa?
I'm also a person pleaser, a people pleaser, but I feel like I do take time to myself, and I feel like that is a very important thing to me. So every week it's a routine kind of.
So Antonika, do you think, because me and Alessa both said we're people pleasers, do you think you're also a people pleaser?
I am, but I feel like I'm working out of it now. So that's why I'm really excited for us to dive deeper into this subject. Yeah.
Okay. So like Alessa and Antonika, what are some examples of you like people pleasing in like your day-to-day life?
I think I just have trouble like saying no to people, or like when I say no to people, like I'm really guilty. I feel really bad after. I just don't know how to like be like, no, I can't do it. I always just find excuses like, oh, okay, I'll try to do it. Even if I know like my schedule is like busy, I still say, okay, maybe I'll do it after. And then when I actually can't do it, like, I don't know, I feel really bad. Just disappointing people, I think. I don't like the feeling of me feeling like I'm always like failing other people or like disappointing other people. So yeah.
I feel like in my experience, I feel guilty if I say no.
Yeah.
So it's like an example. Sometimes people don't bring a lunch, so we have a cafeteria, and when they don't bring lunch money, I feel guilty because they're like, "Oh, Alessa, can you buy me something?"
Mm-hmm.
And even if I have the money and I want to say no, I always end up buying them something because I'm like, no, I don't want them to starve. Like, there's like 3 more hours of school.
Bring
I
your
don't
lunch
want
money.
them to be hungry. So I actually feel bad, and I feel like that's one of the main experiences I've had these days.
Yeah, I feel like for me, even if like I know I can't do it, I won't say no. I'll just say like I'll be like, oh, I'll get back to you. I'll ask my mom. I already know the answer is no in my head, but I won't say that because there's something about saying the word no to people that I'm just not there yet. I can't do it.
Yeah, you ladies were discussing about how saying no makes you feel guilty, but you know, how do you think saying no and then not feeling guilty, like how do you work towards that, or how do you want to work towards that?
I feel like just like thinking about which one is worse, saying no to their question, like, okay, can you do this for me on this day? No, I can't. But then, you know, if you say yes and then you can't do it, then you're disappointing them even more because you committed to that. And then now you can't do it. And now they have to go looking for someone else. I feel like it's just easier if you say no in the moment and thinking about which is it better to say no now or later?
Yeah. And I feel like you can just be honest, like even if it's not, like even if you don't have like a big excuse as to why you can't do it, but you just don't feel like doing it, just be like, no, that's not something that I feel like I can do for you. But yeah, you're going to feel bad regardless if you're working through it still, but yeah, that's a step. So what are some things that you ladies think we can start doing to start prioritizing ourselves more?
Phew. That's a good question. That's a good question. What can we do to start prioritizing ourselves more?
I feel like I would definitely because you know, sometimes I think about if I buy them lunch and one day I'm hungry, would they buy me lunch?
They probably wouldn't because super stingy with the lunch.
So you know, maybe really taking that into consideration, be like, would you do that for me?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one because most of the time, no, they won't. I think doing stuff for yourself before, like thinking of yourself before you think of others. So make sure you have your lunch, you have your money. Like don't buy people lunch if you only have $5 in your account. You know, like making sure you're taken care of before you look to take care of other people. Like, you know, when you're like on a plane, they tell you put on your own life jacket before you put someone else's life jacket on. That's what you have to do in your day-to-day life as well.
Yeah, I feel like just kind of like what you ladies said, like I feel like it takes a big step to be able to say no to other people so you can say yes to yourself. But in the long run, like you will feel better about yourself. Just being able to like, balance out when to say yes and when to say no. You don't always have to say no, but if you can help, you help. If you can't help, then
Exactly. And I feel like it works better in the long run because when you do say yes, you're giving your full commitment, you're giving your full energy. Like it's not half, it's all. It's all of you. It's the best quality of yourself that you're giving.
Exactly. And have you ladies ever noticed a change of, emotion or like reaction towards when you tell your friends or anyone around you that you took time for yourself or that you just don't want to give it to them that day?
yeah. I mean, I feel like people will still be negative about it. Like, I don't think people value, or like, I don't know, they would just think like you're too full of yourself if you say, oh, I'm saying no because I want to sleep in, or they'll just think you're being selfish. But that's what we're supposed to do sometimes, like be selfish with ourselves, because you can't always be there for everyone, help everyone. Sometimes you can't do that all the time. I feel like people do, like they will give you a negative reaction, but I think you just have to own what you said. And yeah.
Definitely. And I feel like you definitely need to like stand your ground and like don't like if you see that they have a negative reaction, that doesn't mean you turn around and say yes. You have to like stay firm with your answer. I feel like for me it depends on the person that I'm speaking to. Like so I feel like some people have an understanding and some people don't. Some people know sleep is important, some people don't. So I think it definitely depends on the person.
Yeah, and I didn't say this, but the people I buy lunch for aren't really my close friends. So
You're buying a lunch for acquaintances?
no, but like no, but like
Wow.
they're not like close friends, but they're not like far off friends either. Um, so my close friends actually like, you're so nice. Or like even if I buy them something, sometimes they get upset. They're like, why did you buy me that? And I'm just like, because I want to make you happy. So I feel like regards to my close friends, when I do buy them something, they're like, no, you shouldn't waste money on me.
Yeah.
So I haven't really seen a change of reaction, but yeah.
I feel like that's part of why I'm also people pleaser because I enjoy seeing other people happy. I enjoy bringing other people joy, but then it's like, are you going to bring me the same joy?
I feel like it's
Exactly.
normal though, because as humans, like you kind of want, but we seek approval from other people, and if you get a certain reaction from people, it's like you kind of feed off of that. Like you want that more and more, but it doesn't really help us like in the long run, like we said before. Yeah. So, any final thoughts? Like, what would you say to our listeners today? New steps that they need to take to prioritize themselves.
Say no.
Say no. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say, I really like what you said, Antonika, in which like say no to others so you can say yes to yourself. Because, you might not like saying no to others, but you also shouldn't like saying no to yourself. You shouldn't deny yourself money. You shouldn't deny yourself sleep. You shouldn't deny yourself food or lunch. So say no to others so that you can say yes to yourself.
That's the thing, because sometimes you're like, oh, I want to make other people happy. But have you ever thought, I want to make myself happy?
I'll also say, like, be honest with people. Some people just take advantage of you because they know that you can always give. So with the lunch money people, I'm sorry. Like, why don't you ever have your lunch money? Just bring your lunch money, pack lunch. It's not that hard. Pack a sandwich, go to school. It's actually not that hard. No, I just
because
feel
they
like,
actually start relying on you. They'll never bring a lunch because they know Alessa's gonna buy me lunch today.
exactly. So yeah, you can just be honest with the people. You can say, hey, I can't do it for you today, but also like, why do you always feel the need to ask me for this when you know you can easily get it for yourself? Because sometimes you need to call them out and just
Like you have the money. Why can't you buy it yourself? But any final thoughts, ladies? Okay, well, with that, we can wrap up today's episode. Thank you all so much for listening. And thank you, ladies, for contributing to this conversation. Don't forget to follow Power to Girls at My Power App, Power to Girls CA, and P2G Power Talks, our Instagram account for this podcast. Be sure to share with family and friends and tune in next week for a brand new episode.
bye.